All right, so when that trajectory started moving, and I'm talking about it moved, Ricky. See, you were in it, but I was back there watching it and seeing when it started really taking off. It seemed like you had a real good stamp from Steve Harvey.
Oh yeah.
You know, when that stamp hit, when he officially stamped you, like saying you like pretty much the next one and stuff, you felt that. I think y'all did a special. You did a special in New York or something like that. Was that
before that, Pierre? I had did some of those dates that Guy Torrey couldn't do, opening up for the Kings of Comedy.
I didn't know that.
And so he came to Birmingham. I was on the Buck Wild morning show. Not Buck Wild from New York, but it was another Buck Wild.
Light skinned dude.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember.
Right,
I
right.
remember.
Sammy
I like
Mack. Yeah, so I was on his morning show, and Steve came because the Kings of Comedy was coming. Bernie Mac said, DL, Steve, and the energy was good on the morning show. Steve said, "Hey, you need to come open up for the Kings of Comedy tonight." And I was like, "What?"
What?
So man, I got off the air, jumped in my car, drove to Atlanta because that was my visitation weekend. I never miss a visitation weekend for my son. Picked up my son from school, drove all the way back to Birmingham, went and found the suit, got dressed, went and found somebody to tailor the suit. And I walked up on stage. He said, "You got to do 3 minutes." I had to ride. I had to share dressing rooms with Steve. I had to be quiet, speak to when spoken to. I just had discipline or whatever. And walked on stage. I did 3 minutes. And I introduced Steve. What Steve did was, instead of him coming on stage with the music or whatever, he stopped the applause. He told me to come back out. He said, "Birmingham, I just need y'all to know this is the next one."
Wow.
He did that.
Wow.
And I remember walking off stage, and I went in the bathroom and I just cried.
Sure.
Because you did that for me in my hometown. And they was at the Jefferson Civic Center. And he told me to come in and sit down, and there's Bernie Mac, there's Cedric the Entertainer,
Wow.
there's D.L. Hughley, and everybody's shaking your hand. I knew Said
Right.
because I used to be Said's opening act. Steve introduced me to Said. Eric Ron was one of my first manager.
Wow, was it? Okay.
So I went to some of the places that I went to for the first time. I was opening for Said. And but just to sit there and see that and looking at this, I'm like, I hope to do something like this one day. I never did it, but I did it when I got on the Martin Lawrence Lit AF tour. And that's one of the best things that ever happened to my whole career. That was like,
Really?
Yeah,
And
man.
that just recently happened.
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh, Ricky, we got a lot before then. But you
Yeah.
had your own sitcom.
I did.
Yeah, I remember I came down and watched it and stuff. I think Anthony Brown was out on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What?
Yeah, sitcom.
And that-
then that was 2 seasons of that with J. Anthony Brown and Ray J. And then I had 6 seasons of Rickey Smiley for real.
For real, right,
show.
right. The reality show. That
Me
was
and my
good,
kids,
yeah.
radio personalities.
Yeah.
But and Dish Nation.
Right. No, I know that, but I'm saying for you to say that was the biggest thing. You had a lot of stuff. It's funny. I was sitting back. I said, I'm gonna talk to my man Ricky. I said, I'm gonna talk to my boy Ricky. We're gonna talk about some stuff that we went through and did some funny stuff.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I said, let me Google him first. I started looking at that list. I said, yeah, I'm not about to talk about all this. So you know what?
Right.
For Ricky Smiley fans, I ain't talking about everything. You can Google the rest of this in between shit.
Right.
Okay.